Hi Cancers, welcome to my channel Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. That's me, my name's Annie. First and foremost, happy birthday! Whether I'm a little bit early or a little bit late, depending on when you watch this video, we're in Cancer season. Hooray! So exciting! Yeah, happy birthday, you guys. I hope this season finds you well. Despite everything that's going on, more reasons to find, time in the little moments to enjoy life wherever possible, right? Welcome to my channel here on YouTube. I do general messages. That means not everything I say will resonate with every Cancer out there. Totally up to you guys to come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind. Knowing in advance that if something isn't your message, feel free to release that. Do have faith that it's serving somebody else who needs to hear it, okay? The beginning half will be career and finances. The second half will be love and romance. Feel free to move around if you're only looking for one or the other. What else do I need to tell you? Everything else is written down in the box below. Welcome back to all my returning subscribers, my Cancers. You guys are my rocks. You guys are here for me. Far and away the most views, so I always try and do you guys sooner than later. I got a lot of Cancer in my chart, so I do relate to your guys' energy quite a bit. Anyway, down in the box below, it'll tell you the decks I'm using here today, how to contact me for personals. What else? My Instagram, my Facebook, all that. Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. Check me out, multiple platforms, like, share, subscribe. That helps me a whole lot. I would truly appreciate it. Ooh, wow, these cards are like all of us. Take all of us. Okay, so we got our cards here. I think we are going to hop in. We will clarify wherever necessary. Actually, I'm going to throw two more down. I'm trying to incorporate different decks here and there just to get some new messages out, right? I don't want to always be connecting with the exact same group of Cancers, so cute. Things are blossoming, things are blooming, and then your whole deck came out. All right, well, I can't take half the deck. We will take this one. Number 11, I love it. 1111, building with a twin flame or a soulmate, potentially a Pisces. We'll see. All right, let's look into your career and finances first. So, High Priestess, boom, starting off strong in your energy. I mean, quite simply, I know you guys probably get sick of hearing this. Follow your intuition. It really does serve you guys, particularly because this is your card. She is the card of intuition. You know, the High Priestess is that direct source between, our earthly self, I guess you could say, and our spiritual self, right? She's like receiving messages from the universe, from spirit, from source, and it does funnel into your intuition. That is your emotional guidance system. So it's saying keep doing that. Keep making time to open yourself up to be a vessel to receive those communications, because when you get lost in the day-to-day life of being too busy or too stressed, you're denying yourself that divine wisdom that is trying to be kind of bestowed upon you. So absolutely, Source is trying to communicate with you. King of Swords, lots of very important, heavy messages, particularly from your spirit guides, particularly air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Now that could be your friends, that could be your family. For a lot of you though, it's in the spiritual realm, it's in the spiritual world. They are trying to communicate with you about the way you see yourself versus how the universe sees you. Like your spirit guides, or however you want to phrase it, source, whatever your belief is. They think you undervalue yourself, or you undermine your own ideas. It's like you have this beautiful vision of what it is that you want to do and what you want to create, but there's a lot of, but I'm only this, or I'm just that. And the universe is like, no, Cancer. Like, do you even understand how powerful you are? They're really trying to empower you in this spread. There's a sense of a chilliness or a coldness. It's almost the way you view the world. I don't know if you've recently gone through some sort of hardship. It could be the loss of a family member, the loss of a job. And the thing is, none of the cards are indicating that, but it's saying the way you're viewing the world, there's something about it's chilly. It's a cold vibe. So to me, I'm trying to translate that into you're feeling like nothing around you is giving you nourishment and warmth. Maybe you're single and you're very focused on the relationship, but here it's coming up in your career spread. It's saying like, pull yourself out of that coldness, out of that frigid or fragile state of mind. You really need to kind of harness that kind of witchy, mystic energy to create the life of your dreams. It's something about the other side of the looking glass. I think that's like an Alice in Wonderland metaphor, right? You see it, but are you taking steps to create it? Or do you even see it? Is Spirit asking you to take more time to think about it, to dream it, to visualize it in your mind before you go create it? So that's a different message, right? Depending on what field you're looking to get into. Some of you, if you're looking to change careers, it's almost like you kind of have to harness your inner warrior and confidence for you is going to be key in order to transition or switch over to what it is you really want to focus on. It might be a career involving spirituality or the spiritual arts, something very creative, artistic, something that really utilizes your intuition and almost like psychic abilities, your seeing abilities. It could be something that really allows you to exercise that muscle of like compassion and empathy, helping others too. If you don't resonate with the storyline of lacking confidence, it could be that you're being driven to be in a career where you advocate or vocalize, help give a voice to those who traditionally or historically have not been given a platform or have not been given a voice if they've been silenced, right? It could also have to do with empowering other people. I gave a similar message to Taurus, so there might be something in that reading for you as well, particularly if you have strong Taurus in your chart. Yeah, you may be the one initiating action to help bring people to the other side, essentially like of the looking glass, right? Seeing themselves as empowered, as capable, as able to not only envision a life that they want, but then to actually go down the path and create it. Yeah, you might be an advocate of helping people to build or create a new lifestyle, a new way of living, very much like life coach mentality. There might be an Aquarius that you have a strong spiritual connection with. Again, that could be a business partner or a collaborator. It could be your lover. But if not, it could also be speaking about a spirit guide, particularly in like the 5D. It could be a relative or an ancestor that has passed on that is very strong in their Aquarian energy. I'm being called to say that. And there's messages. They're really trying to reach out to you, but either you've blocked yourself off in some capacity, or you may be participating in something that is like dulling your light. So, maybe you're drinking a little bit more, or again, participating in sort of activities that they lessen your light. They dull your light. So spirit is really trying to get you to, it's almost do like a cleanse of your body. So maybe for some of you, you're going to be focused more on your health, your exercise, your eating habits that are going to help you maintain a lifestyle that's in alignment with whatever business or career trajectory you're either trying to break into or continue to proceed to go down. Things are blossoming and blooming, and in your birthday season, you may get small bits of communication. Something about if you put the flower out, it will attract the bees. So something about your sweetness, your kindness, your personality, that could be indicative of drawing in clients or vendors, people who want to work with you or buy what you're selling. That's sort of the metaphor there. It's saying keep manifesting, but again, there's such a very important message here about, for a lot of you, again, it might not be your message, but for a majority of Cancers, you're viewing yourself from a lesser perspective. Spirit wants you to realize the amazing gifts you have. Your talents and your skills. It's like, it sounds like I don't know what, I just keep wanting to say it's going to take you places, kid. Like, it sounds like there's a mentor that's trying to align you to the right path, but they're trying to build up your confidence because you're sort of lacking that, or if you're not lacking it, you're just not seeing it at its full potential. So there is a great mirroring quality in that something that you're doing, it's almost like you have to practice what you preach, essentially, or if you're telling people how to do something, are you doing that yourself? So it's nothing to be offended by. It's just saying you've already started down this really great road, but it's like you need to make yourself stronger so that your business can grow too. It is a very self-focused message right now. Let's throw some clarifiers on that. I do have to be honest, there's no pentacles here. You don't have any bad cards that would lead me to believe tragedy or downfall or a loss. If anything, you may have already experienced something like that in the past. That whole metaphor of feeling cold or chilly, like you've been shut out from the world, or someone maybe someone broke up with you. Again, that's not happening now. I think that happened in the past, and maybe that left a little scarring on your heart. And whether you realize it or not, I mean, it's coming up in your career spread, so it isn't impacting probably your mental viewpoint, your viewpoint, your attitude, the thoughts you believe about yourself. This is such a message of like aligning with your mind, body, and spirit. Your spirituality is, and again, maybe some of you work in a business where there is some connection to faith or God or spirituality. And if there isn't, maybe you should consider something like that, Clients are going to start coming to you because you have a very worldly viewpoint or a really great perspective on something that it's not only that they want to hear it, but you sway things in a different way where it makes it more digestible to people who are just starting or just learning. So teachers, maybe some of you are going to be teachers. Some of you are going to be couples counselors or like a therapist, helping people to see things or think things in a new way that bring them empowerment and self-love. I just learned the other day, Richard Simmons, the exercise kind of guru from I guess the 80s or the 90s. I learned he's a Cancer, and I was like, oh, interesting. And then I started thinking about everything about that makes sense to me. Everything about it. I'm like, of course Richard Simmons is a Cancer. And I hate to say it, but because I love my Cancer so much, I'm like, I knew I liked him. It made me like him even more once I found out he was a Cancer. I guess I bring that up only because it does, he has such this, oh my God, just dripping with love and compassion of, you can do it, and I believe in you, and you're beautiful no matter what size you are. More or less, Cancer, if you're not in a career that involves that now, it's a skill that you very likely have. So maybe Spirit is saying, can you utilize that somewhere in your current job, right? And I mean, you're going to have to be creative, right? If you're a financial advisor, that's not a job that typically oozes compassion. And you know what I mean? But it's saying that's like a God-given skill or a talent that you have. So you might be able to utilize that in more creative ways that you're not even realizing. There might actually be a Cancer coming into your life that could be a lifelong business partner or key collaborator. Could also be a Sagittarius, and it may start out as either a client, vendor, someone you work with, even if it's just temporary. But it could span the years or potentially generations. It could even be a client that you establish like a you help me, I help you dynamic, and that lasts for many years. You guys continue to return to work with one another or endorse one another. This again is indicating to me something with family or generational ancestry. You could be doing something with Ancestry.com or memorabilia, a nostalgia, appealing to people's sentimentality, such a Cancer quality. Maybe you're doing scrapbooking, maybe you're doing wedding photography. I'm mentioning all this because it's confirmations for those who are curious, should I do this? If you're hearing me say that, there's something to that. You have beautiful cards indicating love and harmony in relationships. So maybe that has to do with you, maybe by following your North Star to empower yourself to chase after that dream career that maybe nobody else really understands what it is you're trying to do. If you know it to be true, then all the more reason to go and chase it. Haters gonna hate. Don't listen to other people's criticism or perception of it. If there's love in your heart to do it, go forward, because you have 10 of Cups and 2 of Cups. Would love to see these come up in a love reading, but I mean, all the more if they're coming up in your financial reading, go towards what you love. And it could be that working with people, working to repair or heal or be involved in relations. It could be public relations, PR work or something like that. Your words, your kindness, your empathy, your even writing, something involving writing, poetry, lyrics, songwriting. You're just trying to get to the other side. It's closer than you think. The one thing you're lacking right now is the confidence or the last little nudge to do it. There's something you can see and you can visualize it, but there's apprehension here. It may involve moving away from someone that you love very much, whether that's a family member or a boyfriend, girlfriend. I don't know. It could be a family pet, right? There might be a relationship that you're being called away from because it really would serve you on your career path. But I think there's a sense of guilt. Maybe that's that whole metaphor of coldness, of chilliness. You don't want to be seen as the one who rejected somebody. Or the thing is, even if that were the case, I think you guys would reconnect in the future. But there might be some sort of opportunity. And again, you'll know if this is your story where time is fleeting. It's like if you're going to apply, you have to go now. You have to take that course in Paris now. Do you know what I mean? There's something about an opportunity where all signs point to yes. Except the last thing pulling at your heartstrings is potentially having to leave behind someone that you had great affection for or romance for. Yeah, absolutely. This is saying if that relationship is meant to stand the test of time, it will. Remember, it's not your job to put all the effort and almost break your back to make it work. It's saying if you've done what you can, and especially if this is at all like a weird, not weird, but in-betweenish, like are we or aren't we, what's going on? This is saying if you are meant to be in each other's life, you pursuing your career should be something they view as amazing and a great opportunity. They should support you and be your cheerleader. They should be cheering you on to pursue your dreams. If they're not, that's a sign that they're either codependent or clingy or they need to do some spiritual growing. The opposite, though, is really coming through. If you do choose to go for that, they're probably going to follow you, Cancer, with that cup of love. Like, okay, just let me know what you need, babe. Like, even if they can't move with you, it's saying they'll travel to get to you because they love you. They have love in your heart. So again, don't let the ties and the binds of family and friendship keep you from growing and thriving on your career path. Again, people who are meant to be in your life will find a way. I'm going to quote Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park, life finds a way. And I know that's a whole science metaphor, but essentially it's being relayed to me in that way that you don't need to do all the work to maintain relationships. Give yourself the gift of taking a break from trying to fix and piece together everyone else's life. Let them come to you for a change, Cancer. Does that make sense? I hope some of you relate to that. Some of you have a Gemini that's interested in you, or you may literally be a twin or have someone very close in age to you, or something about a twin is very important here. It could be someone who has very similar features to you. It could be even a dream you had about meeting yourself. There's something there you need to re-examine in a positive way. It's like a good omen or a good foretelling. It could be a business partner, again, that you work with in the future, or a client who comes to you that has the same name as you, a similar body type. There's some sort of twinning energy, and yeah, it's a force to be reckoned with. It could be an Aquarius as well. There's something about this partnership that is very strong and very mighty. Yeah, you guys could do some serious damage together, but it's positive strides towards, it's almost like creating a new future, maybe it's creating a new product. There's some sort of, dare I say, like revolutionary or innovative. That's a good word, like an innovative idea. This person will be very transformational, transitional in your career. It's almost like if you were to look back, 20 years later, look back in time, you're like, oh, well, that time that I met John, I never would have gotten to here and there had it not been for me. And do you understand what you're going to be able to look back and understand there was a turning point in your life? To be clear, it doesn't happen because of a person. You contribute to this change as much, but because you're open to their alliance, their friendship, their mentorship, it really helps, like, I'm hearing like water terms, coast, glide. It helps like surf. I don't know what that's about. It sets you down the correct course or the trajectory that you were trying to go at. This person, in a sense, makes it a little bit easier in transitioning you into something that you were already trying to do yourself. You're already working to manifest it. This is almost like an earth angel. It's like a divine blessing of someone who comes into your life at just the right time. And it's like you may have been applying for years for this certain job, and then you meet someone like, oh, I need someone like that. Do you know what I mean? So it's not to say that you're going to be lazy and not put in any effort, but I get this message for you all the time, Cancer. There's like a mentor or a guy, someone who offers you guidance, wisdom, whatever. Again, it could be a collaborator, someone you network with. They're going to be very important in your career. They could be quite a spiritual person as well. You have beautiful cards. And I mean, again, I say this message to you all the time too, Cancer. I don't mean to repeat, but it comes up in the form, or the same message comes up in all different forms and cards. So just to be clear, yes, this is career and finances. You have the 10 of Cups, you have the 2 of Cups, you have the Lovers, you have the Knight of Cups, and you have this nice little twinning energy with the King of Swords. Very much Aquarian energy for me. It could also be Gemini or Libra, and you do have some Gemini here with the Lovers. You also have your own card. You have the High Priestess. You have kind of some magician vibes. Again, potentially Gemini or Virgo energy here. It's just really positive. I don't know what else to say. Movement and travel towards doing what you love. Don't let your sentimental heart for those around you, don't trick yourself into believing you have to stay to satisfy those relationships. Allow those relationships to change and grow and develop with you. And again, those who are your soul tribe will always be in your life. You know, if nothing else, they're always a phone call away or a Skype away. You can still communicate with them over, I am sort of getting distance. And you might just meet someone else too, if there's like especially like a dating type situation going on and you're apprehensive to leave that behind. First of all, that's sort of putting yourself in a state of lack of, oh, I'll never find this again. Or, you know, and I mean, I understand it's not always that. It's like, I love this person. I'm so excited and I just met them, but now I'm being called to move to, you know, I understand it's complicated. Again, in a gentle way, I'm being told to say you don't know everything, Cancer. So keep an open mind. You're meant to grow and develop in your career. Bottom of your deck is the Empress, which I love seeing that in your career. Maybe you're meant to be a mommy. Maybe you're meant to do something that is like a mommy type job, caring for children, you know, school teacher, something like that. Education, knowledge, wisdom. Yeah, you're passing on knowledge to people in many different shapes and sizes and forms. Tell me about money. I don't have one card with pentacles here, do I? You have beautiful cards. Again, I don't have a bad thing to say about this, but I don't see money. Where's the money at? Show me the money! The name Maggie or Margaret, Margot, something about that. I don't really know what that means, but or Sharon, Cher, I don't know, Sherry. Sometimes I get names. Ace of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. All right, so I asked about money. You got the Wheel of Fortune. So frequently, Cancer, your money spreads are pretty good. It could be that when you choose to follow your passion or do something new, creative, again, something spiritual, it's almost like the wheel of a car. It's pulling you forward. It's, I just heard it's poetry in motion. That's hilarious. I don't even know what that means, but the wheel is turning forwards. That's allowing you to almost pave new grounds, be a trailblazer in whatever this maybe is. And I mean, Wheel of Fortune does indicate money will be good. I don't think it's here yet. I think it's going to be okay. I think there's going to be, you know, small transactions if you're starting a business. I think your cup will match. It's almost like the output of your work will match the input. The output will match the input. Is that even a word? You know what I mean. Money will be okay. I think you're going to get by. I think you're going to pay your bills fine. There's some sort of, I think you're being called to take a risk to go after whatever it is you're visualizing in your head because you don't understand how mighty you are. Mighty Mouse. You're hiding behind, I don't know what you're hiding behind. Your value, not your values. You're hiding behind your, I don't know. I'm just going to show you what I'm seeing because I'm not really able to visualize it. You're hiding behind this, a wreath, a garland. I'm sure this is a metaphor for something. She's the child. I just heard the childlike empress, the never-ending story. But you are, right? You're meant to stand out on your throne. You're not hiding behind your gifts. You're not hiding behind the flowers. You're not hiding behind... It could even be the idea of marriage. I don't know why that's coming through, but you're meant to dominate. You're meant to be on the throne. You're meant to be seen. You're meant to call the shots, Cancer. So this could be you hiding behind a job title that it allows you to just get by and not be seen, or you're taking orders from other people, almost like secretary vibes, like, okay, I'll get right on it. When it's saying, no. We gotta, like, universe is like, let's shift the power dynamic here because Cancer is meant to be in charge. Cancer is meant to call the shots. Because here's the thing, you would do it with kindness in your heart. You are a ruler with empathy and compassion and yeah, like you put other people in mind. You're not doing it out of like this tyrannical egomaniac sense of rulership. It's not you. Again, you rule the way a mother would, whether you're male or female. This very like nurturing maternal type energy. Some of you are going to be moving towards a fire sign or a career in, again, spirituality, arts and crafts, creative projects and activities. This does frequently talk about travel too, potentially world travel. So maybe you're, I don't know, taking your business on the road. Maybe you're bringing your business to other countries. It could be the World Wide Web, right? It could be on the internet. This is also saying speak up for yourself, vocalize. It's like the spirit stick. When you're holding it, you get to talk. It's saying don't let go of that stick. Always, always speak your truth. Always step into your power. A major step for you is going to be stepping into your confidence. That's sort of what I keep saying. So again, I asked about money. I didn't get any money cards other than these two, which are very positive. And I'll say the cheesy, at the end of the rainbow is the pot of gold. I think you're working your way towards that. I don't get the impression money is terrible right now, Cancer. And I mean, if it is, maybe this isn't your message. But Wheel of Fortune, yeah, there's positive motion towards. It's like divine timing is going to decide when the money comes in. You just need to keep following your passions. And again, trust that intuition is leading you in the right direction. All right, let's hop into love. Love, romance, relationships. Some of you are waiting to hear back from someone. Some of you are imagining or fantasizing or flirting, crushing on a Gemini or a Virgo. This is a Virgo or a Gemini or someone who is in a leadership or a power position and you really admire their strength and confidence. It could be someone you collaborate with, Cancer. It could end up being something like this. You may have gone to see a seminar or a speech or attended some sort of conference that they host or lecture at. It could even be a professor or a teacher, or again, a mentor. I am sort of getting that vibe. You fall for like a mentor of yours, Cancer. Who is this? I want to know. Is this going to be my story? No, I'm just kidding. It's so funny because it comes up in your reading every time. Who is this person? Something about a graduation robe. So if it's not a mentor, it could have been someone you graduated with years ago or recently, right? Something about a graduation robe. You may have a picture of you and this person in a photograph together, wearing like a cap and gown. I don't know. And I mean, I got to be honest, it doesn't have to be romantic. This could be someone, if your child just graduated, there could be something about, I don't know, pursuing more of like a life in which you guys see each other more, right? If you're at a distance, if your kid just graduated, maybe that's a relationship you're being called to work on, right? Some of you quite literally could be going back to school and maybe you'll meet somebody there, if you're single and looking. Again, the Lovers card is coming up twice on top of each other. So heavy Gemini energy. It could be a timestamp of Gemini season. You start to move towards a Leo. That's definitely a card of Leo, Gemini for me. Who do you want to play house with? Who do you want to build a future with, like building blocks? Something about if you have a child, or if this is a metaphor for something, about building blocks on the floor. It's almost like if a toy chest where you have those little blocks and I'm just going to show you, right? You're building a castle. It's so funny. That's what's on the other side of this mirror. Can you guys see that? There's like this fairy tale princess type castle. It's almost like you're manifesting something from out of your childhood. Something that the way you envisioned life was supposed to be. It could be that, you graduated from like school of the hard knocks and slowly maybe you became a little bit jaded. Maybe you went through a lot of experiences that were very painful, right? That chilly period where you started to lose hope or faith that it's cheesy, but the idea of the happily ever after, it's showing up in your spread. It could be that you're doubtful of that, and so you haven't spent time manifesting it. It's saying this is absolutely possible. If you can envision it, you can absolutely build it and achieve it. As a child, for you, it was very effortless. Your imagination just ran wild, and you had a very vivid imagination. I'm getting you that either you didn't flex that muscle enough, or over time something dimmed your light. It's saying go back to what you wanted in your childhood. What was your idea of true love, right? And maybe your idea on love has changed, and that's fine. But it's saying if there's something you're still holding on to, even in your subconscious, that you dream of having that, right? Maybe you grew up in a turbulent household and you're like, I want to be in a marriage where we make it work and we're not fighting. And, it's saying, then yeah, that's possible, Cancer. Just because you've been maybe unlucky in love or you're in a relationship or you're not truly happy, it's almost like go back to the basics. You could always wipe the slate clean and start over. Just because you started building something doesn't mean like it's doomed or that you can't go back and fix it or change your mind for that matter, right? Let's throw a few more on this. Someone's playing head games. Someone doesn't know what they want and they're leaving you on pause or leaving you on red, right? If you're in a relationship, you may be having some confrontation or some arguments with someone. And I don't think it's you. I think it's your person is very headstrong and they always have to be in the right. They're not good at admitting when they're wrong. They potentially aren't good at being very vulnerable. They like to wash over the details of things and not get... It's like when there's really real subject matter to talk about in the relationship, they don't want to deal with it. It's too much for them to talk about. And so I think you're at a standstill about whether to leave this person or not. And this doesn't have to be a marriage. It could be someone you've dated. It could be someone that you've gone out with once or twice and you're like, I would like to pursue it, but yeah, that but ... you really need to consider, is it worth your time? And for a lot of you, it does involve potentially a business thing, involves moving away from this. And it feels like you might be sacrificing a dream to try and make it work with a person who, I gotta be honest, they're just one person. There's a million fish in the sea, right? Cancer. That's your card. You've turned your back on them, haven't you? You're empowering yourself, becoming the master manifestor, the magician of your life, to move forward towards, I think, your career and your dreams. If you're headed towards a Gemini or a Virgo, perfect. Or a Cancer for that matter. You may be manifesting a Cancer in your life. If you're a Cancer already with a Cancer, it's saying, well, damn, you guys are magic together, aren't you? That's really cute. I like that. Yeah, I think you're moving towards a difficult decision. This is actually quite nice. I do like it. The Five of Swords, which is about head games, people winning at all costs, lack of clarity, lots of confusion, people saying things that, hurt feelings. It's awkward. It's uncomfortable energy. I think you're waiting to get past that or at a standstill of like, well, should I proceed forward with this person or do I want to do a 180? I think a lot of you are going to choose to do that. It's positive in that you go from the 5 to the 6. So this is nearing completion. 6 is all about moving on and getting out of the rocky waters and into like smooth sailing. You might be moving towards a Gemini or repairing a situation if you guys were at a physical distance or an emotional distance. There may be a totally different person that is at a distance from you now that you end up moving towards once you choose to leave another one behind, particularly a Leo or a Gemini. The Leo is very interested in you sexually, and they're probably looking at you on social media. And they potentially want to build the castle with you. It could be a Gemini too, but for a lot of you, it's Leo. Universe is trying to usher in someone who matches your vibe. So it's almost like they're, I don't even know how to say this. Behind the scenes, you're not aware this is happening, but it's like universe is almost trying to orchestrate this where they lift the curtain and release the person out at just the right timing so that when you see them, the connections happens with ease. There is something about divine timing here where as much as you're trying to manifest it, I just keep getting, it's almost like one of your spirit guides, your angels is like, not yet, hold the lion back. Like, don't let the person out of its cage yet because we need Cancer to get to this point for them to meet. And I know that sounds a little bit crazy, but that's absolutely what I'm getting here. For some of you, there might be something with a Scorpio, particularly a Scorpio who likes to dance or who is a dancer or an athlete, a gymnast, someone who's very health conscious about their body, about dieting, about exercise. It could even be like an athletic coach or an athletic trainer. Maybe that could result in some sort of love relationship. It could also just be like a really beautiful friendship. because it is the death card, it's saying you need to recognize and do an assessment around you. What can be sacrificed? What is not adding to your joy? What is not contributing to your life growing in a positive direction? And ultimately, what can you put an end to? You know, what can you kind of put the death card up and be like, okay, I'm done with that once and for all. And for some of you, it might go reverse. It might be a Leo or a Gemini that you're with and you're just like, ugh, not for me. In which case, you may be going from one to another. You may have multiple Geminis going on here, right? A name that begins with N or A, so male or female, doesn't matter. And I'm not necessarily hearing these names. I'm just giving you the example, like N, Nancy, Neil, and Nelson, you know, right? And then an A, so Annie. Andrew, Andrea, whatever, N and A, something about that. Nana, maybe some of you are hanging out with your nan, with your grandma. Oh yeah, this is a cute message. For those who did have a very strong relationship with a grandmother, who would your grandmother want you to be with? That's such a cute message. It's like, who do you think they would approve of? And again, only for some. If you had a very close relationship with a grandmother, or it could be a grandfather, it's almost like, would they give you their blessing to be with this person? It's sort of getting at the crux of building a life with them. Be careful who you choose as a partner, right? Who would your future children want as their mother or their father, right? It's easy to get caught up in the moment, but think long-term, generational. Who do you see yourself growing with, Cancer? And maybe some of you are already with your person for life, in which case, if you're happy and you're not so much interested in that, I mean, you do have very good love cards. They just kind of came up in your career spread. So again, that's a message for some of you right now. You might be working with someone who you get engaged to, next month, right? Queen of Pentacles. So Capricorn might want to build a house with you. Capricorn might want to have your children. And maybe another Cancer as well, or again, Aquarius. Someone who allows you to travel and has your own individual life. Some of you may even want to do something involving flight. I don't know if it's a pilot, or you might be dating a pilot, or someone who likes to, I don't know, like merchandise that goes across the seas, like shipments and goods. I don't really know what that's about, but ditch the liar, cheater, thief. Ditch the sneaky one who has like clandestine energy. A lot of you are, you're running out of patience with your Taurus or your Aries, and you're ready for new beginnings. Ace of Cups. A lot of you are being guided to focus on your own self-love, your own abundance. Nine of Pentacles, right? You're growing into the Queen of Pentacles. So, I mean, that could very well be you. It could also indicate, again, Virgo and maybe Capricorn. There could be new love with something there. And then there's your Leo again. Yeah, Leo was screaming at me in this reading. So if that means anything to anyone, you have potentially two Leos, or at least one Leo that's really ready to come in for you. But it's like your angels are like, not yet, not yet. Don't let Cancer see it yet. Like, they're cooking it. You gotta let something about the bun in the oven. Maybe pregnancy. Maybe you're gonna give birth to twin Leos. That would be cute. All right, that's what I got for you. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what resonates. I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye, guys.